Hey, what is up, everyone? Welcome to the Real Radar Radio Show with Eric V. And you are listening to a brand new episode of the radio show right now. And it is April 27th, 2019. And this is the post show for Avengers Endgame. This has been an amazing adventure for possibly everybody involved in this film, I can imagine, and a hell of an adventure for all of us fans and all of us out there that have been pretty much salivating at every bit of info and every bit of piece that we can get our hands on when it came to this film, when it came to just Marvel making movies, when it came to the whole fact that, you know, superhero movies were just going to be part of our lives from now on and part of our whole existence and our being, and how it pretty much just changed us. It changed every one of us. Whether you're a hardcore fan, whether you're someone who grew up reading the comics and picked up on subtle Easter eggs in the movies and just decided to, you know, give it a shot and go with it, or whether you're just an avid moviegoer who just loves what Marvel has been doing for the past few years. It has been an amazing experience for me, and today I finally got a chance to see Avengers Endgame for myself, and I was not disappointed one bit. This film was, and will always be probably one of the best films Marvel has ever produced to date. There's possibly no telling or no knowing if Marvel will ever one up what they had just done with Endgame, because I'm pretty sure a film of this magnitude and a film of this caliber possibly and cannot be topped with what we had just experienced and what we had just saw in theaters, just, you know, with this film releasing. This film was probably the best thing that could happen to Marvel and to Marvel fans everywhere. And it's a long process. It's a long ways to say, you know, how much time and effort and energy have gone into creating these films and creating these franchises and building upon this ever-growing story that Marvel has been telling since 2008 with Iron Man, and it's gone on from Iron Man to Incredible Hulk to Thor to Captain America to Guardians of the Galaxy to this whole existence of all these films converging together, telling a story, telling their own separate stories while setting up a bigger picture for everyone to see at the end. Hence, Endgame. But the story was bigger than what probably what anybody would have expected whatsoever. This has been a huge film, and it's going to do very, very, very well at the box office. It's safe to say that Marvel has again outdone themselves with this film, and that's an understatement. That's the understatement of the year. Obviously, this film has been one of the most anticipated since last year. Since the end of Infinity Wars, we have all been looking forward to this time in this year, at a specific time of year, where we were waiting for Endgame. We were waiting for something to happen. We were waiting patiently and anxiously at the same time, month by month, waiting for details, waiting for anything, just, you know, anything that Marvel could throw at us at any given time. We were waiting. we all waited. We all were hoping and waiting for something good to come out of this. And then December of 2018 rolls around, and we finally get a short glimpse of Endgame. And although it may not be much of what we received, it was something. It was something to tide us over rolling into the new year. We were all excited. We were all happy. We were all just more than pleased to just get a small piece of what Marvel was bringing to the table. Fast forward a couple months, Marvel's still pretty keen on their, marketing campaign and how they're approaching how to market this film and bring it to us, the general audience, and how to keep hush-hush with details and how to remain quiet with so many things and so many things approaching this film. There has just been so much going on with the secrecy surrounding this film, who was in it, who was coming back, what cameos were going to happen, what details we can get from the story, the plot, what does it mean for the end of Infinity Wars, how do we move forward in time, and how do we approach this thing, this void that we have been left with for a whole year, not knowing what's going to happen to our characters, what's going to happen to the story. And now the time has come for us to finally know what happens in Endgame. But before we even got to experience the Endgame, before we even got to, delve into what it could be that was waiting for us at the other end of that cycle, was the fact that we had to pretty much deal with and handle in a certain way to avoid spoilers. And it never fails with every film, highly anticipated film, everybody's been looking and waiting and hoping for something to slip out, hoping for something to let out. Just 10 days till the premiere of Endgame, I want to say 11 days ago, we received word that there was a breach of some sort of trust, or a breach of misconception, where we found out that 5 minutes of Avengers Endgame were released online, were leaked. And I know you're probably sitting there and you're saying leaked is a strong word, because you have this film that was denied the whole critics review embargo, where critics weren't allowed to talk about Avengers Endgame until that embargo was lifted. Anybody in those theaters, or whoever had filmed those 5 minutes, made a compilation video of what certain clips were made out into that clip, and what we were able to see from those clips, what were to happen. And soon those clips have found their way online. Many people watched them, many people didn't. Many people left social media because of this. To some people, it's a bigger deal. To some other people, it doesn't mean anything. Those people out there who like to ruin the film and pretty much know what's going to happen before they watch the film are not real fans, are not really invested in emotionally invested and ready to know what happens in the story, just like every one of us, because we have been waiting. We have been avoiding any and all types of spoilers that we've been receiving, whether it's social media, word of mouth, critics review, whatever the case may be. So these clips immediately found their way online, were immediately removed from Disney and Marvel. You could totally search all over YouTube. You wouldn't be able to find one clip whatsoever. The minute that those clips were uploaded online, guaranteed within the next 5-10 minutes, Marvel and Disney cleaned house. And the Mouse House was having none of it. They basically just upped and said, you know what? We're sick of this shit. No one's going to get anything from us. No leaks, no footage, no nothing. But Marvel kept it clean. Marvel just decided, you know what, we're going to continue with our promotional campaign. We're going to keep the way things are going. We got 10 days until this film comes out. So the review embargo was lifted this past week. Critics were able to comment and, pretty much discuss this film without giving away potential spoilers since Tuesday or Wednesday this week. And now the time has come for us to view the film. And watching this film has been a tremendous treat. It has been a year-long treat where we've been waiting so long that Marvel has decided to make Avengers Endgame 3 hours long. And I can't remember the last time I sat in a theater for 3 hours other than, Lord of the Rings or, Star Wars, sorry. But nonetheless, every minute of that film was just a lot. It was just a lot to take in, but in a good way. It was a lot. And I was like a kid just sitting there with my mouth open watching the screen. And my wonderful fiance looked over at me several times and told me, "Hey, close your mouth. You have your mouth open staring at the screen." And I was sitting there like a little kid, man. I was in awe. I was in shock, and I was happy, and I was waiting for this day to happen. And in the back of my mind, I was just like, you know what? This film is gonna be awesome. It's gonna be amazing. I've seen so many articles about this film that played into not giving away spoilers, not saying what was going on. I saw a lot of people posted about them seeing it on Thursday and Friday, and you know what? I read the exact same thing everybody was thinking. Thank you, Marvel. Thank you, Marvel. Thank you, Stan Lee. Thank you for fulfilling this global achievement for everyone across the world, for making this film bigger than it is for all of us. And it goes on without saying that this film was just tremendously massive, and it was a fan film. It was for the fans because it was driven by the whole notion that these fans stuck together for the past 11, 12 years and made these films into what they are now. And it worked. And these films will forever be immortalized and, praised for, their way of storytelling and how they approached these franchises and how they approached these storylines and how they told their side of the story and how it was meant for everyone to know the culmination of Marvel and how it all added up and what each individual story told added up into a bigger story, interwoven into each other, with everyone coming together to fight for a greater cause, for a bigger purpose. And it meant so much more for me to watch this film in theaters because I owed it to myself to give myself that credit, to know that these films are awesome, man. I don't care how old you are. You could be 6, you could be 16, you could be 26, 36, 46. Hell, you could be 60. And these films will forever and for always be amazing. I cannot stress that enough. But I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm content. I will seriously and wholeheartedly buy and purchase every Marvel film that I have missing from my collection, including Infinity War and Endgame. Because this film, this 2-part film, was just amazingly, wonderfully well crafted, and I stand by everybody when they say, "Thank you, Marvel." Thank you, Marvel. You successfully drove the nail into the coffin on this story. You've given us the ultimate and best iteration that we could all have taken in with this film. I've gone these entire 15 minutes talking about Avengers Endgame with no spoilers, without ruining the whole effect of how you were meant to approach and appreciate this film, by not having somebody else ruin it for you. That's not me. On any given Sunday, any given day, most of you, well, all of you would know that I would potentially spoil a film for you. For anything, for any given reason. But a special film like this that has been so anticipated and so well put together, it needs no spoiling. It needs no one, especially from me, to ruin it for anybody. Because this film has just been amazing. So it goes on without saying, you guys really got to check out this movie. And honestly, sit there, and whether you have kids, whether you're new to the whole Marvel scene, or you've been watching since '08 like me, or you got to sit down and realize that there's a certain point in your life where these movies make sense, and these movies add up, and these movies play onto our imagination, and they give us so much more that we can look forward to in our own personal lives. It's just that small moment of escape that we look forward to our favorite heroes coming together on screen to fight a great battle, a great fight, to bring us more closure, to bring us more in-depth reality, to know that we're standing up for ourselves and teaching us that, part of the journey is the end. And it's true. It's moments like these, especially for those who've already watched the film, will realize that, and would appreciate that a film of this high caliber leaves little to the imagination of that. There's so much more than just your favorite characters coming together. It's the story, it's the plot, it's how well written the script was for each individual character, for each individual actor in this film, for each franchise that was a part of the MCU, from Iron Man to now, to everybody in between and everybody involved. Whether you're Nick Fury, whether you're Iron Man, whether you're Groot, whether you're Valkyrie, whether you're Thor, whether you're Nebula, whether you're Gamora, whether you're Thanos himself. These films intertwine together beautifully. And there's no way around it. There's no way without saying that this movie is going to knock your socks off. I have been Eric V. You have been listening to the Post Avengers Endgame show with me for the past 20 minutes. No spoilers. And coming up on the next episode of the Real Radio Show, I will provide more details, possibly more spoilers, possibly more, behind of what my reasoning why this film was so intricate, why it was so well played, well put together, and so much more. So expect the next episode to be more in-depth. Expect the next episode to be spoiler-filled. Expect the next episode to be more in your face. I'm talking about it. We're going to discuss it. It's going to be an amazing show. I invite you guys, I encourage you guys to come and listen to the next show. This is part 1 of a 2-part episode where I will be discussing and talking about everything Avengers Endgame. and what the future of Marvel means moving forward, and what we can expect from upcoming films, and what it means for a whole. With everybody and everything involved, it's going to be a great show. Again, thank you for listening to the Real Radar Radio Show. You guys have an amazing rest of your weekend. Part 2 of this, the second part of this 2-part show, will be available Monday. And as early as Monday, earliest Sunday, latest Monday. But, yeah, this is going to be an amazing show. And I hope that you guys would come back and enjoy listening to the second part of this show, where you guys can, reflect and weigh in on, the show and the details and other details that come forth within Endgame, and other things that tie in coming down the pipeline, and just so much more. Spoilers. I remind you, spoilers. There will be spoilers in the next episode. Listen at your own leisure. Watch the film. You will love it. Enjoy it. I'll see you guys in the next part.